Hey everybody, welcome to another album ranking where I rank every track from a certain album. I have done other album rankings such as Doolittle by the Pixies, Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones, and Siamese Dream by the Smashing Pumpkins. Today I am doing Last Splash by the Breeders. Yes. Um yeah, this album is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most underrated albums that come out of the '90s. And those of y'all who don't know who the Breeders are, it is the main front woman of the band is Kim Deal, who was the original bass player for the Pixies. This is her band, the Breeders, and also in the band is her twin sister Kelly. And at one point, Tanya Donnelly, I think is her name, Tanya Donnelly from is it Throwing Muses? I think is the name of the band. She was also in the band, also in the Breeders as well. She's not on this album. She's on was it the debut Pod? But yeah. Also, wasn't she in Belly? I might be thinking of someone else, but I think she's in at least Throwing Muses. But anyways, yeah, I really like the Breeders. I think they're a great underrated band from the '90s, and this album is, like I said, one of the most underrated albums from the '90s. Only one song on here in particular was like the only one, and still to this day is the only one that ever gets like any maybe radio play, but like it's the only one like almost everybody knows about. Um, Unfortunately. And it's a great song. Don't get me wrong. I'll talk about it later. But I think this whole album is great. So yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I am going to rank all 15 tracks from this album. Yeah, from 15 my least favorite to number one my favorite. So yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Okay, so coming in at number 15, my least favorite song on the album is Mad Lucas. Mad Lucas isn't terrible. It's just very slow and not necessarily in like a good way. It's kind of boring, honestly. I think this is a boring song, really. And also, it might be the longest song on the album. Like, most of these songs are pretty short, up to like 1 and 2 minutes. And there's one track that is under a minute long, and there's a few that are about 3 minutes. But there's actually, I think, two that are 4 minutes, and I have to say the 4 minute tracks, I'm actually not into them really. Um, but yeah, this one's definitely my least favorite. I never was a fan of it. It's not bad, and it's not an album, not a song I would skip on the album. Like I hardly ever skip any songs whenever I'm listening to an album. Like the only reason why I'll skip a song is if I really don't like it, like if I like hate it or if it's just unlistenable to me. But Matt Lucas, I can listen to but the only way I can listen to it is just if I listen to the album. It's never a song I would listen to by my own. So yeah, and that also probably goes for the next one as well. So yeah, Mad Lucas is number 15. All right, number 14 is the other song that is 4 minutes long, and that is Raw, which is spelled different. It's spelled ROI. Um, Now I will say Raw is kind of a cool song, but the reason why it's my second to least favorite song on the album is because the middle part or it might be the ending maybe or something like that. I don't know, but it like I don't know. It starts out like really cool, but then it goes like into this other part that's just like really slow, and I don't know. I don't really care for it that much. It's kind of boring too, but it starts out really good. But yeah, Raw, that is number 14. Okay, number 13. Now, this one I don't think is a bad song at all. I think it's kind of a cool song, Like it has a really cool bass line, but I was just never a huge fan of this song. I thought it was always thought it was all right, you know. That is Hag. Yeah, I mean it's kind of a cool song, Hag, but I don't know. Of course I like it better than those last two, but it's just it's not I don't know. It's not all the way. It's not really great in my opinion. Like I said, it does have a bitchin' bass line. I will give it that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just to me. Hag, that is number 13. All right, number 12. Okay, now this is this might confuse you. You might think, "What? You actually like that version of Raw better than the actual version?" I do. This is the closing track of the album that is a reprise or reprise, whatever you want to call it, of the song Raw. Yeah, Raw Reprise is number 12. I slightly like it better. I do actually like it better than the 4 minute Raw. This is only like, this is under a minute. It's like, I don't know how, maybe like 40 or 50 seconds long. Um, but the reason why I actually like this better is because it's basically the exact same song, except it doesn't have the part that I didn't like about Raw. It has the cool part about it, so that's why I like it better. I but the reason why it is low on the list is because it's very short. Like I do feel like it's I do feel like it's not finished. That's why it's still low, but I do like it better than the full length version because it has the cool part, it's just the cool part. It's just the cool part. So yeah, um Raw Reprise. And I will say this too. I do feel like it's a weird way to end it, or to have this as the closing track of the album. I mean, I really think that because before this was Drivin' on 9, and I'll talk about that song in a minute, but that would be a much better closing track to the album. However, if they wanted to actually end this album with this song, they could have just put this as a hidden track, like after, like have a few minutes or seconds of Driving on 9, I mean, have like a few minutes of silence after Driving on 9, and then have this, the Raw Reprise. But for some reason, they have it as a separate track. I don't understand. And it is also the closing track of Last Splash. Kind of like Cripple Creek Ferry from Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. Like, that was an odd way to end that album, too. I liked the song, but I felt like that was a weird way to end the album because it was like so short and just a weird song. So yeah, I don't really like the idea of Raw Reprise being the closing track of this album. It should have been the hidden track. It should have been in the same track with Driving on 9 if they wanted to put it on here anyway. So really, I would just say replace this with, replace the 4 minute version of Raw with just the reprise version. That's what I would have done, honestly. But yeah, but anyways, Raw Reprise, that is number 12. Okay, number 11 is one of the two instrumental tracks on here, and that is S.O.S. Not really much to say, just a pretty cool instrumental, but I'm not a huge fan of instrumentals. I think both the instrumentals on here are very good, but just, they're not songs I would really listen to on their own. But yeah, SOS, it's pretty cool. That is number 11. And number 10 is the other instrumental track that is Flipside. I think that one's slightly better, and I think it's a little bit longer too, maybe. But yeah, just cool. Both cool instrumental tracks. Little low on the list just because I'm not a huge fan of instrumental tracks, but those are still good songs. I still like them. So yeah, number 10 is Flipside. And of course, number 11 is SOS. All right. Number 9. Number 9 is the opening track of the album, and that is New Year. And I think there is some people that really like New Year. And I get it. It's a great song. I do think it's a little bit too short to be a opening track, but nonetheless, I still think it's great. And I actually do think it's a pretty good way to open the album. I just wish it was a little bit longer, but it's still a cool song nonetheless. It's only like a minute long, but it has a really cool riff in it. So you have like the opening riff is really cool. Um, yeah, New Year. That is number 9. Okay, number 8. This one's also kind of short, but I really like this one. This is I Just Want to Get Along. And this one has a really cool bass line in it too. I love the bass line in this song. Like I love the tone of the bass too. That's what makes the song for me. Other than that, I mean I think it's a decent song. Uh like I do wish it was also a little bit longer, but the bass line is what saves it for me. So yeah, I Just Want to Get Along is number 8. Okay, number 7 is a song I was just talking about just a little bit earlier. It's the song that I think should have been the closing track, and that is Driving on 9. Um, I do kind of feel bad for not putting this higher because this song is great. It's just that this there's 6 songs I like better than Driving on 9, but Driving on 9 is still great. This is actually a cover of a band I don't remember the name of. They weren't a very popular band. Um, there might have been a band that maybe the Breeders like toured with or something like that, or maybe just were influenced by. But I have heard the original version too, and it's all right. But this version is very good. I really like their version of this song, "Driving on 9." It's really good. It's kind of like a country kind of song, sort of. It sounds kind of like a country song, but yeah, I really like it. "Driving on 9." That is number 7. Okay, number 6 is Saints. Saints is a cool song. It kind of has funny lyrics, but I still like it anyways. It's catchy. Yeah, it's a really cool song. I think it's a fan favorite from Breeders fans, and I understand. It's great. It's a very good song. Yeah, Saints is number 6. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is a song that I think a lot of people would put at number 1, and it is the most popular, not only the most popular song on the album, but the most popular Breeder song. And don't get me wrong, I love this song. It's just I like four others better, so that's why it's number 5. So yeah, number 5 is Cannonball. Yeah, this was the song that got Breeders famous. At least a little bit, and it got Breeders. It got this song in particular got some MTV play and maybe some radio play too back in the day. Um, but yeah, it's a really good song. It's really cool. It has some weird lyrics too, but I like it a lot. I like the chorus a lot in it when they say "in the shade." Yeah, really awesome song. That is, yeah, Cannonball number 5. Okay, number 4 is Do You Love Me Now? I think whenever I very first heard this album, I think this might have been my favorite. I think it could have been. I really like this one. It's got some good riffs in it, and I like the melody a lot, the lyrics too. Um, yeah, this song's great. I like it a lot. That is Do You Love Me Now, number 4. Okay, number 3. Now this one's kind of a popular Breeder song too. I would say this might be the second most popular after Cannonball, maybe. That is number 3, Divine Hammer. I remember when I very first heard this song, I wasn't really too into it, but as years went by, I started to really dig it. And yeah, and of course it's in the top 3, so I love Divine Hammer. I think it's great. It's got a great melody. Um, I really like it a lot. Divine Hammer is number 3. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is a really cool song that is Invisible Man. Yeah, this one is really awesome. This was always one of my favorite Breeder songs. I even learned this on the bass a long time ago. I need to learn it again. It was a really cool song. It is a really cool song. I would love to cover it. Um, yeah, I love this song. It would be my number one if it wasn't for my number one, of course. But yeah, Invisible Man is great. That is my number two. All right, and my number one favorite song from Last Splash by the Breeders. That is No Bye, No Aloha. Yeah, No Aloha. Hopefully that won't get me any copyright claim by singing that, but I love No Aloha. This song is awesome. I love the opening, which I just sung. It had that acapella opening of Kim saying "No bye, no aloha," and then it has that guitar too. It's just so awesome the way this song opens, and the whole song is great. I think this is so cool. And I usually don't really care for short songs, but this isn't an exception. Um, I this might be just like 2 minutes long, maybe, but this song's so cool. I don't really care how long it is. It is amazing. I think it's definitely my favorite Breeder song ever, and I think it might even be their best song if I'm gonna be honest. It's just such a badass song. I love it. No Aloha is my number one favorite song on Last Splash by the Breeders. Yes. All right, there we go. There is my ranking for all the tracks from God damn it, Last Splash by the Breeders. I don't know why that's kind of hard to say. It just if you say it fast, it's kind of hard. But yeah. So in the comments, tell me if you are familiar with this album. Give me your ranking for this album. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just give me your favorite and least favorite songs from this album. All right, so okay, so this Monday will be a list. This coming Monday will be a list of some sort. Um, I don't know what yet, but I'll think of something. And then as for Thursday, I'm still in the middle of my Beck discography ranking. So Thursday will probably be a top 20 or top 10 favorite songs list. So yeah, look out for those coming up. So yeah. All right, so please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell, and I'll see you later. All right, peace.